I think we'll end with this. Here is, if you remember, the Chicago Bears mock-up, right? So let's take this in order. The Chicago Bears wanted to create a new stadium. They didn't like being in Chicago because Chicago was, I don't know, too expensive or whatever. They tried to work something out, and the mayor's like, no. And they're like, you know what? Screw you. So they play hardball. They're like, we're moving to Arlington Heights. And that became like a big deal. Chicago kind of held its ground. And then the Bears bought actual land in Arlington Heights. And they're like, we're going to build it right frickin' here. They own that land to this day. Apparently, this is according to this article from Sports Mockery, but it's just detail that I was not aware of. Apparently, the school districts, the teachers, the whatever, school boards, I don't know who's in charge of this, the teachers' unions, whatever, in Arlington Heights are like, hey, why don't we make the Bears pay higher taxes, higher property taxes, which is absolutely idiotic. If the Bears build a stadium in Arlington Heights, that is going to mean massive revenues for Arlington Heights. A lot of that money will go to the school districts. But no, the schools, ironically, are run by idiots. And so what you have are these people coming out and saying, hey, let's make them pay higher taxes. Screw those guys. So what do the Bears do? The Bears say, hey, Chicago, tell you what, let's work something out. Scared them out of Arlington Heights. So they go back to Chicago, they work out a deal, and they're like, all right, boom, we found a site. They mocked up this. I think this is beautiful. I really do. You know, I'll talk trash about the Bears all day. I understand the dome thing gets under people's craw, and it's like, oh, they're a bunch of wusses. And you're, to some degree, 100%. Not the wuss thing, but as far as, I mean, it is an advantage. I looked it up, even for the Bears, who don't have the greatest of records, they perform better when people come into their stadium when it's cold. But this is fantastic. I mean, this looks beautiful. The stadium looks amazing. They've got views that are incredible, like this right here, where this is kind of the new thing where it dips into the ground. So you're kind of like in the stands, but you're also like ground level. But the views like go out into the city, so you can look out of the stadium. It doesn't have the picture here, but you can see into the city. It looks fantastic. It really does. It's a beautiful thing. Well, apparently, there's been an additional update, and that is, despite all of this already being essentially confirmed, the governor of Illinois has now come out and said, hey, Bears, just so you know, you're not getting a dime of money for this. No funds from Illinois or Chicago, I believe, I don't know, will be funding this. We have bigger issues in this state, like food and housing. We're not giving you any money. So now the Bears are like, okay, yeah, dude, totally, completely understand that. Hey, Arlington Heights, can we negotiate this whole tax thing real quick? So the Bears have now come back to the table, despite having all these plans already figured out. They've gone back to Arlington Heights, have reopened negotiations. They're going to try to see if they can get them to negotiate this whole tax thing and bring it down. And apparently, as of right now, according to this, I believe, according to the Sports Mockery site, it's leaning toward, more than likely, they will end up in Arlington Heights. And the reason is there is a time constraint. And they're in the midst of negotiations, and there's time constraints. And the fact of the matter is they own the land in Arlington Heights. They don't own the land in Chicago. So I believe they'd essentially be renting the land that they'd be building on or something. I don't know how exactly that works. But it would be easier for Chicago to just build on the land that they own. And so as of right now, smart money is on the Bears actually ending up in Arlington Heights. What an absolute debacle. I mean, you can tell this is being run. I mean, this is the most incompetent sports organization in negotiation with one of the most incompetent states in the country. And they're trying to work this thing out. This is what it looks like. Hey, Chicago, we want to build a new stadium. Yeah? Well, we're going to say stupid stuff. Okay, well then we're going to go to Arlington Heights. Congratulations, Arlington Heights. You just won the freaking lottery. We are going to now turn you into a massive city, because we're building a stadium here, and the revenues that are going to pour in is going to be stupid. What do you think? I have an idea. Let's frickin' blow that up by saying we want you to pay even higher taxes than you would have already paid on top of the revenue that you already would have brought in. We just want to make you pay higher taxes because screw you. I don't know. And so then they're like, okay, go back to Chicago. And then the governor torpedoes that. And then they're back to Arlington Heights. I don't know. I'm enjoying watching this ping-ponging back and forth. You got the president or whatever the title of the Chicago Bears here is, doing his best to try to make something happen. And at the end of the day, this is just a disaster. The fact that you have time constraints on a thing and you don't even have a place to start building. You don't have anything figured out. You're basically between two places that are acting like they don't want you. It's like you can't even. I don't know. And you bought you bought the land in Arlington Heights, and then you abandoned Arlington Heights, and now you're going back to. I just build in Arlington Heights. You look like less of an idiot, but then you're out of Chicago, and you're not the Chicago Bears. You're the Arlington Heights Bears, which you're not going to actually change your name. But at the same time, I mean, it is what it is. It's just it's a freaking mess. It's an absolute mess. And I don't know who's the bigger idiots, the state of Illinois, the city of Chicago, the city of Arlington Heights, or the Chicago Bears. I have no idea, but they're stupid, and it's great. And I hope that continues because, I don't want them to be a good football team. I want them to be run poorly, especially if their quarterback ends up being really good, because if you have a premier quarterback, you got to be real crap to not have massive amounts of success for a long time. So anyways, I do have some other things, but considering we're a little low on content, we'll just go ahead and stop it here for today. Appreciate